Washington D.C. About ready to land. Air and Space Museum, archives, a Chagall, and a special trip to the U.S. Senate, House, and Capitol. Stay tuned. So glad you're here. Welcome to Miss G Live and Share. And we're about ready to land. Come with me on this beautiful one-day trip around Washington, D.C. Here we go. Hi everyone, Miss G here from Miss G Live and Share, and I am in the Air and Space Museum in Washington D.C. at the National Mall, and they have fixed it up, refurbished it. They're going to have a new opening section in the summer. I recommend getting tickets now. We had to get tickets for just to come in. Oh look, that looks familiar to some people. Glad you joined, especially friends that may not be able to make it out here. Let me see if I can give you some videos, and I will tell you this is going to be from a non-space enthusiast. So this will be an overview, some pictures of the fun planes, maybe a little nostalgic for some of you. Look at that TWA. I don't even think the young folks know what that company is. Eastern Airlines. That was my family's airline that they flew. They didn't own it, but they flew on it. And let's see what else they have. There's American Airlines, American Airways before. And I don't know too many people have been able to go into a Star Wars plane. Fun. All right, so some kids here, and let's see. See, this is a 70s X-Wing starfighter. Wow, I'm more excited about the Star Wars plane here. Resistance fighter, the Rebellion and the Resistance. Wait, where's that one? I can't see it. Let's see if I look for it somewhere else. So I'm excited about those. Some satellites. Didn't quite make it up to space, but we have a sample here. They used to have a sample of the moon. Destination Moon. And just a little fun fact for teachers who want to bring students here or your own children. There are some young folks that are here volunteering, giving some great information about gravity, space, astronauts, and they're quite informative and quite fun. So I just heard all about gravity and what happens to your body as an astronaut for the first 3 days. You get a little car sick. I don't think it would be for me because I get car sick quite easily, and I even get sick on a merry-go-round. But I asked them if you were to bring it here on Earth to give the same effect, and so the students would be able to know what it was like the first 3 days up in space. Put them in a chair in your classroom and spin them around, or put them on a merry-go-round, but it would have to be a very fast speed that I don't think is legal for safety reasons. But that is how you get the same or close to, and that would be a really neat experience for kids. Here we go. Got a capsule, the Apollo 11 command module. Apollo the first. Here's a fun little area. This is the first spacesuit on the moon. This is Neil Armstrong's in Apollo 11 lunar spacesuit. Get a little closer for you. Hey, look. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Woohoo! Reminds me of MTV. Look at all those knobs. Yep. The bathroom, you guessed it. Where do they go? That would not be fun. Let me show you the back of it. very fragile, according to this little tidbit here. All right, let's go to the next room. There is another Air and Space Museum that's a little further out, outside of the D.C. area in Virginia, which is fantastic. I have not videotaped there. I have been there. A little partial to that one. They have the space shuttle there that you can actually walk under, which is it's just a really cool experience. I remember coming here. The advantage of living and growing up here in Washington, D.C. is that these were our field trips to come here. Remember, over 60 questions just to keep us busy we had to answer here, walking around. Of course, as we all know, we all tend to share. See, we were sharing even back then. That would be a fun Land Rover. Moon rover. It's roving explorers for Apollo 15, 16, and 17. I want you to see the tire. It's like a metal sheet, like chicken wire. That helps any of you to understand. And there's some metal plates on it. So cool.
Those who follow. What is it? Apollo 12 gathered more surface samples and visited the robotic surveyor 3 spacecraft to gain information on the
This looks like a camera. Yep, it is a camera. It's a mapping camera. These are the boots, the overshoes. All right, now we're back out again. We walk through here. There used to be a movie. You could see, oh look, a space route. See, there are volunteers here that you can talk to, and they're quite happy to share all the information that they know. Air Force. Some of my former students in the military, pilots, would be able to identify these. Aerospace. Yep, I recommend for space aircraft enthusiasts to come here. Give you an idea how large this place is, but obviously it has to be big to house all these planes. Let me see. Oh, this is the simulator. Nation of Speed. Ooh, sports car. All right, let's walk in here. Let's see what Nation of Speed has for us. A Corvette. Woohoo! That's a beautiful car. There's another fun fact. If you are touring the U.S. or live in the U.S. or visiting for any length of time, there's a great Corvette museum in Kentucky. And unfortunately, at one point, there was a sinkhole or something, and some of the cars went down. I had taken my family there for a visit. We have some Corvette enthusiasts, and but I recommend that. Look, I-10. Let me see if I can get that closer. Pennsylvania Turnpike, I-10 crosses the country. All sorts of things in here. Flying helmets and goggles. Oh, here's more camera equipment to photograph. Wow, look at that. Speed limit, 80. This is when we ended up with during Carter administration. All right, we've got some voices behind us. Some folks having fun, thinking they're being... Oh, sorry, I didn't. All right, this is Aaron Sills, a land speed motorcycle record holder. And this is the motorcycle, I suppose, he did it with. I don't know if that's still the case, but when this exhibit was made. April 2016. That's okay. And I guess he still holds the record. And he reached, holy moly, he reached 207 miles per hour. Wow. And there's some information here on women drivers and women race car drivers. Joan Cuneo, America's first foremost women car driver in the early 20th century. Huh. Alright, had to turn my flash off, didn't even know it was on. I don't even know what this is. 3 minutes. Oh, that's scary. Alright. These are engines, and this is a turbojet engine. Yeah, this is all stuff from the Cold War. Ooh, Evel Knievel. All right, I'm dating myself, but Evel Knievel was a big deal when I was a little kid. You can look him up. So if I were to recommend, the one thing to see here would be the Wright brothers' actual flyer. This is the actual, I don't know if they called it a plane already, or they call it an air flyer. Let me look, get the wording right. The Wright flyer, which is kind of funny. And they have a really good exhibit about the whole process on how they developed the flyer and how they got here, and some little tidbits on information on the Wright brothers. But it's a great display. For people who have not been to North Carolina and Kitty Hawk, where they had the first flight, that comment about the sand, it's still there, and you can rent some little kites or flyers to jump off the dunes. You can feel like you too are a Wright brother and learning to fly for the first time. I think I'm going backwards. Oh, printers. This is my thing. Here's something. This is for typesetting, and these are printing type. You would take these little pieces and put them together in a block, and then you would print it out and make your newspaper. And not to date myself, but when I was in school, they still taught it. You had to make your little print set type, and I don't know if my year was one of the last years to do that, but that's when they taught sewing and cooking and woodworking in school. All right, there's always a museum store. It's a bummer. There's a whole section closed. Opening 2025. We actually thought it would be open when we were here. But let me just show you a few things to entice you to come. This amazing museum gets so many visitors, so I can imagine the wear and tear is just amazing, and they have to refurbish things, update them. I would think they have to update things even more today. Ooh, look. This is about ballooning. Okay, I know nothing. Well, there's a barometer. Know nothing about this. I may have or may not have taught it at some point, but in and out of the brain. All right, let's see where else we can go. We could stay here all day. In front of me is the National Archives of the U.S. and a fountain. We are in the sculpture garden of the National Gallery of Art. We're here to see a Chagall that was gifted, and we're trying to find it. All right, we found it. It's hidden away in the northeast corner.
My friend saw this peeking in the back.
There we go.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad
It is.
you told us. Thank you, ma'am.
No, I saw the lady walking by and I thought, all right, here it is. It's hidden. So we're not the only ones that couldn't find it, and it's a shame it's kind of hidden away. It should be out in front and center. But so if you come here, it's in between the natural history and the northwest corner. I said northeast. And it's near the little cafe, Metropolitan Cafe, in between the museums, off Constitution. It's beautiful. We have a little extra time on our hands, so we decided to see if we could get into the National Archives. Nobody seems to be in line. Let's go look at the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence. My kind of place. We got in, there was no line. There's some school groups here. Fun. Yep, everybody looking at themselves. No flash, please. Oh, how funny. Record of Rights. The Magna Carta. Wow. All right, let me go to different. It has been a very long time since I have been in here. I'm so happy we decided to, and I'm so happy you have joined. You're coming along. Just for those that haven't seen this before, the S's were like F's sometimes in the way that they used to write a long time ago. Off a little green, but that's not green. I guess it's to protect the document from those photos who are taking photos. I actually went to England to see the Magna Carta, and at some point I will get around to making that video. It's different than these. It's not a walkthrough. I was only taking photos at the time, but just give you an idea. They have lots of exhibits here. They've digitized, much different than the last time I was here. I brought students to see our famous documents of our history. Oh wow. Still it today. Some excluded, some welcome. Huh. You can make your own comments, thoughts. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. No pressure. Oh, all right. Lots to look up, lots to learn here. Another fun place for teachers to bring students to see the actual documents. I am loving this digital integration into the actual documents. There's just so much. Defending communities, assimilation, relocation. Wow, that's sad. I recently had a conversation with a student, and she was saying that she didn't quite, or she found it uncomfortable maybe, that we had memorials to death and sad moments in history, and you know, whatever you think about it, I think the key is to learn history, not necessarily stay in the past, but to learn about it, and there's much to learn so that we do not repeat. And so many people say this over and over again, and there are still people who are alive who are a little concerned with recent situations, and it just throws up red flags. I don't think it's something we should bury our head in the sand, but nor should we jump to conclusions, but definitely pay attention to what's going on. The high school that I taught at for a while had, well, the kids all knew that they had their water fountains, and there were two of them, and one water fountain was a little warmer than the other. Nowadays they do not have segregated water fountains, but at the time the school was built, it was during the time of segregation, and those water fountains temperatures were different, in addition to having to separate and not being able to use the same water fountain depending on your skin tone. So I'm heading up the stairwell. I'm not sure how many things I can show you today, because it turns out on all these museums, which is wonderful because it was needed, but there's renovation going on. So quite a few of the rooms are closed. All right, now I'm gonna pay attention to the steps. I'll catch you in a little bit. All right, we're on the second floor. All right, we're gonna go in the rotunda. It's gonna get a little loud. Everything echoes. And see, bring you with me. Again, I'm Miss G from Miss G Live and Share. Thank you.
Constitution to be in the center. Declaration left corner, Bill of Rights in the right corner. The side cases, information, and fact. You can take photos, just no flash. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you so much. All right. There's a line. So, Declaration, the Constitution, Bill of Rights. Let's take a tour around. It's the National Archives. is George Washington's
You know what I am gonna
Oath
have to
of
do is
Allegiance. All right, they just now told us we don't have to stand in line. Little fun facts for you. George Washington's draft copy of the Constitution. Experiences coming soon, so you'll have to head over here and speak out. Book Nook, Constitution Smackdown. This will be great for the young folks, and bring your family. Presidential conference room. It said only staff and invited guests. I'm invited. When we like to be in that room sometimes. Cool. All right, headed out. All right, crossing the street. I want to show you. There in the top left corner of the camera is the post office. The old post office. So, if you cannot get up the Washington Monument, which we call the pencil, then the post office has a really, really good view. I wonder what happened there. It's called Rolling Remembrance, and we are on Pennsylvania. The same street that the White House is on. That's the back of the Archives. And down there is the Capitol. All right, never a dull moment in D.C. This is the United States Navy Memorial. Oh, nice. Thank you for your service. Yep, we got the tail end of it.
Apparently the VA secretary and some congressmen from Michigan are in the crowd.
And what was the memorial, the speech for, and the gathering? Nice. Little backstage of how this is done when you see the picture. Hi everyone, I am so pleased to be, I'm in the Senate building, and I am standing in front of a Calder that was his last piece. This is a bit of a surprise, the tour that we have, a friend. The tour tour, they told us this was his last piece. I have to tell you the story in just a bit, but we're on our way on the tour and I'm holding everybody up. Wow, this is fantastic. It's called Mountains and Clouds. The cloud part was not stable, so they had to remove it. But I will show you the model of it in just a moment. All right, come on in. We're in the Hart Senate building.
Turn forward to there's one Senate building. That's the final one.
We're in the oldest part of the Senate buildings. So we started in the newest, where the Calder was, and now we're up through here. I did not film as we walked. We came down that hall, past the Graham's office. We're in the building where Rubio's office is, and quite a few. So this is the area where when you see people being, or senators being interviewed, this is where they are. You see the setup? So they're not in the main Capitol, they're off to the side. Little fun fact, now I lost my tour. All yours. I've been put on the spot to say what all the symbols are on this statue. And I suppose I failed miserably. So I'm going to go to the information here on the side. And let everyone look at it. I just noticed that the eyes are heart-shaped. Huh. Look at that. Well, somebody will have to comment on what that's about. Very nice. And her shield. Is it the 13 original? The wreath. Victory. Very nice. Give you a quick overview. Emancipation Hall. Oh, I remember coming here as a child and bringing my own children here and some family members. But this is all brand new, all fixed up, beautiful. Oh yeah.
Groups of fruits, each one with its Roman or Greek god that represents some theme that's core to American history. And as you guys might remember from coming before, if you look further down, there's the frieze, which means
Let me see.
you see the Wright brothers, and that's the end. So that was finished in the 50s, but it was started in the 1870s by the same guy who painted the painting of Orphée. And he started with Columbus's arrival, and he went around in explorations in Latin America, the early American history, the Revolutionary War. Over there you see Ben Franklin, and then this guy Gumidi was painting Ben Franklin. He slipped and fell, and he was hanging on his foot for 15 minutes until someone grabbed him and was able to wave him again. And then he died not so long after. Someone else took over, and then finally someone else took over, and the only recognition was
Oh, and they finished it in the 50s. Oh, wow. That is absolutely beautiful.
So a lot of these presidents, a lot of the statues are presidents, and that's why.
You guys introduce it?
Declaration.
Yeah.
Here we have the surrender at Saratoga, and then the surrender at Orphée. George Washington gives up his sword and his charms and
I wanted to point out this statue or sculpture. This is on women's suffragists. It's Lucretia Mott, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Susan B. Anthony. But what I wanted to point out that I really, really love, that was pointed out to me on our tour by Teo, is the fact there's one left for someone else to take over the helm and another woman to continue our fight for equality. So maybe that'll be you. This room. Chief standing there. Again, I'm trying not to get pictures of the kids.
that's where they say.
So I'm just getting the tops of the heads. Where is it? Yeah, there's that spot in here in the room where you can stand and hear each other. That they would, right, John Quincy. Right. So you stand here and then the person on the other side of the room can hear what you're saying. We do this. Oh, beautiful.
This is the way to the mall, and that is the way down.
So that's where they'll take the oath of office.
Exactly. So the inauguration will be down here.
And they walk over here.
And I'm sure they walk from here. But
They walk from here?
inauguration will be better here.
So they walk down these steps for the inauguration and they go out the door?
Exactly. I think so.
Okay. So wait, let me turn this around. So this is the door they go out when they're inaugurated. Very cool. We're in the special section. Okay, how's this for a treat? Here.
Can we take a picture of you?
This is awesome. All right. Yeah. Isn't this cool? I'm crying, you guys. This is awesome. All right, shout out. No, seriously, I'm crying. We're standing on the Capitol steps here. Okay, I gotta try to talk. This is awesome. Thank you to Teo for the tour and for Ron to getting us in here, the balcony. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Bringing this in, wonderful.
Welcome, friends, to another episode of Miss G Live and Share Briefs by Albert. So we're here in D.C. Just wanted to mention a few takeaways from our recent trip to the nation's capital. It's really easy to get here, plenty of airports nearby. We flew into DCA, which is very close and accessible by public transportation. Other options are BWI or Dulles. DC itself is a very small, walkable city with great public transportation. So if you're just here for a few days, don't really need to rent a car. It's easy to get around. Hotel options are varied and they span all kinds of budgets, but there are some reasonable alternatives. Double check the neighborhoods. Some are in the process of being gentrified and might be a little scarier for those of you that are not so urban experienced, but otherwise it is generally safe. As far as things to do, plenty, especially for the family. The Smithsonian Institution has numerous museums, and they're all free. So entertainment-wise, the options are quite reasonable. Different food options, obviously, again, spanning all kinds of budget. anything from street food to fast foods to very fancy and excellent restaurants. Miss G Live and Share will have very good options in that regard. If you're staying a little longer and you have some extra time, great neighborhoods in the area that are accessible through public transportation, and also a little bit further out, there's also some options if you decide to rent a car. So nearby you have Georgetown and Old Town Alexandria, which are great options. A little bit further out, you can experience cities or towns which are quite quaint and colonial, such as Annapolis, Frederick, and National Park, one of our favorites that's actually nearby. It's called Great Falls. So come out, enjoy, and let us know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Hey guys, welcome back. A couple of things I forgot. Some options while you're in DC. George Washington's house and final resting place called Mount Vernon. It's nearby, accessible through public transportation. It will take a metro and a bus, but it's easy to get to nearby. Great experience. You can also get to it by water taxi, interestingly enough. As far as museums, my favorite are the Air and Space, currently under construction, but still some good options. There's a satellite of it near Dulles, which you can also get through with public transportation. A new line has just been placed to head out that way, and it's 3 huge hangars of all kinds of planes. Kids will love it. The National Gallery has some great paintings and collections, and notably the only Leonardo, we're told, in the New World is there for your viewing pleasure. Also, a lot of these museums are very crowded and require timed entry, so you do have to get tickets in advance. The more popular ones, like the African American Museum, might take a little longer to get to, so just plan in advance and enjoy. Thanks. Outside of museums, remember you can also visit the Capitol, and you can get tickets ahead of time to do the tour, or you can contact your congressman and get some special entries. You can potentially get into the White House through your congressman's office as well, and the Library of Congress is also a very interesting place to visit with beautiful architecture and some very interesting exhibits. So enjoy.